This is Alpha Master Pimp, Sir Easy, active dominant, sadist, uh, grown ass kinky person, grandfather, um, certified grown ass individual, uh, black hippie, um, all of those other, oh, and Mr. Motherfucker, don't forget that. Um, just one more video that while I'm recording it, you're the one watching it more than I am. So I might as well say something interesting, right? Alright. 2014. It's been about 9 years since I've been in the BDSM lifestyle and whatnot, respectfully. As a polydom with a family and the house and yada 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 yada, and here I am about 9 years later, and I'm still the same person. It's just that, well, on the books, the only thing I've qualified for was the 8 or 9 years that some people have been following me and mines in this journey to one degree or another to have grown to wherever they're at right now. So I'd mention names, but that would give you too much credit for being unimpressive. And therefore, that's why I'm sitting here now in 2014 and realizing this has got to be the most pinnacle year for someone who happens to be kinky, adult, more free to live their lives without, somebody going, stop that, don't do that. And yet and still, here we are in a new dynamic because most of us are people of color. And this actually adds a whole different thing to the game because everybody that's of color ain't the same kind of color. Now, I remember this record, I'll Never Go Back to Georgia. I'll Never Go Back. Uh, I've got several different generations of people in my history, kind of like roots, that I can at least correlate to the mere fact that my genes have been uh, American, more of a native than most people who can trace theirs back a few times when theirs came over on a boat or something with a whole new outlook on what the hell they were gonna do. How does that mean anything to anyone? This is a little bit different than being 12 years a slave because I've been all my life non-slave, but technically speaking, there's no such thing as a non-slave that ain't signed, sealed, and delivered. And why you bullshitting with this bullshit? Really, honestly, this is 2014, and this is probably a secret Mayan joke why they decided to stop making a calendar and said, you know what, 2012, 2011, that's just going to be kind of sketchy. So we're going to say this right now. We're not going to give y'all any more shit to make an almanac with. And sure as shit, the past motherfucking 5, 6, 7 years, weather has decided to make its own rules. That if this shit would end up like it is, technically speaking, half of us up in this motherfucking country will probably not be wanting to be wherever we're at right now. Problem with all that is that you don't know me and I don't know you from Adam, but I'm not a atom. I'm a nucleus. And I've been a lot of things to a lot of people in a lot of places, and well, I've probably gotten more on the better side of respecting me as is, regardless of defining me. I'm a consistent motherfucker, and even my mama can respect the mere fact that I'm allowed to say that right now, respectfully. Now, it's hard being that new image of something that's supposed to actually snap each and every, American or world person in the face by way of any time that I actually say something to you in your face. I don't have to threaten you with the word of the Almighty God and its involving state for what we're going to be for the next 26,000 years just because your ass don't like the way I fucking look or the way I act or the mere fact that I'm not even trying to be one of you. And I've probably been sitting on the side of a faith-based living all my life. Half of it had to be hidden by way of give this nigga something to do while we stop letting this motherfucker's brain do the kind of shit that we found out. Wow. With just the information we got, we can write up some new shit and call it ADDHD and HD. But we just got HD in 2014. So even though they're identifying that shit in 1968, right about the time they start killing motherfucking people, you're still acting like you need to worship just because that's as far back as you can remember of their image. Oh my God, you're defecating on our heroes, and you're sitting back there going, ain't y'all got some better fucking heroes? I mean, I'm sorry. This is between me and the black folks right now. So wherever you're at and you're not one of the black folks, do yourself a favor. Go make a sandwich. All right. Black folks, what the hell is your goddamn problem, man? I mean, all right. We're going to give you this. All right. Before the internet, before the telephone, telefriend, television, whatever it is that you know now, there used to be certain training that you used to have just in case a stranger comes into town traveling to and fro. The last thing you want to do is defecate on their direction because they may be actually doing something more greater for us because that's what we know exists. Not that we got to choose because my ass came from the great motherfucking state of South Carolina and look, goddammit, I'm the best of the best of the best that came up here. I won the best doggone server serving with an apron and white gloves 5 times in a row. That makes me Grand Poobah and Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy could give a fuck. Now, that is really funny to some black folks that aren't quite those other people who, like to congregate, get together and, do that Shaka Zulu shit, but they don't want to actually admit about that shit, and then they have to stop because their social control gets all fucked up once they start learning how to fuck. And half of those people are now on the other side of their lives going, damn, I can fuck now, but damn it, this game is all fucked up. Now you got to be in bondage, discipline, sadomasochism as a start just to be able to figure out what the hell is going on, not only in your head, but in all the heads that are involved by you, and sort of like a chess game because now you've become a freak geek or kinky or a hippie or anything else that you're allowed to do. But for black people, I'm more subjected for stop and frisk then a lot of people are able to actually take the jokes if I sat back and said, oh, a little more to the left, to the wrong motherfucking officer of the goddamn law. And that motherfucker had to sit back there and go, damn, but you kind of big. And I'm almost kind of scared because, I'm facing the mere fact that shit almost sound kind of, yes, sir. And I'm going, yes, because I'm a heterosexual motherfucking sadist that really gets into some BDSM shit. And I was introduced to all of this shit by beating boys. Not just boys, but men that are now men or manly men that have actually done their manly job and have become manly retired as they introduce all of these new young men that have no idea who the fuck Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy is in comparison to your day to day. Being pocket poor ain't a bad thing. Jesus didn't pay taxes. That's some bullshit, ain't it? Problem is that now this earth and this moon and the stars and everything are shifting in the same unstable pattern that was during the whole entire time that they had the Egyptians. That's the first time we actually located it. And then we ended up with Jesus. But that's the last time. We're in the third time now. This is the new world order. There's something different happening, and it's happening right here. Regardless if you want to believe it from Tupelo, Mississippi, or East Bumblefuck, Arkansas, or West Virginia, or Australia. Where God, man, we'd hang up one of your asses like a wallaby if you had the nerve to be that kind of way to me. I don't give a fuck what you call an alpha master pimp for. You know, this, that, and that. I'm going, no, I'm saying I'm amp. There is an actual energy that I'm able to actually do. That's not volts, it's amps. And right now what we need is more amps with a spiritual connection. Problem is, that makes some of the most unstable people have to actually play with an honor code. That's a whole different game now. You ain't got but one good time to slip up and actually miss a Jesus moment that's going to come with the same things with all the stories of the other disciples that you can't do nothing but follow half of the Sundays. Okay, that's far enough for me. After Easter, I'm done with Christianity. We can do vacation, and then, then we come back, and by the end of the year, we'll actually not even remember that, we just did vacation on the same fucking time that's supposed to be the actual time that Jesus and the wise men and all that other shit were actually going to hook up with each other for some event that was happening with the sun and the moon and the stars and all this. Prior to that event, there was this other event where these motherfuckers were so hyped about some shit about to happen that these motherfuckers went out and built buildings. People still don't know how many motherfucking niggas, Hebrews, Nubians, or whatever the fuck they use to actually build all that shit. Some people just don't want to get into that extraterrestrial bullshit because, well, that shit didn't sound good then, and I'll be damned if you can put that in there with Jesus. And I'm going, but Jesus didn't pay taxes, and he was kinky. He just didn't fuck. He didn't fuck because he figured, well, if I fuck, but he didn't have to because he had the baddest bitch in Jerusalem that was funding the whole thing, and can't nobody do 13 because she's the 13th bitch on his motherfucking program that never went away. Even when he came back the day after Easter, when you finish eating eggs and you're on a sugar rush, God wasn't looking at him when he said, all right, now you can go on and, consummate your marriage now. Your mama's here to, identify it. And this is sponsored by the man who loved you most. And, but being that his name was just like a couple other people's names that they wrote other books about, you don't want to play with that because that's LBGT to its activity. Because what if Jesus was kinky? What if after he did Easter and he came back and he was done and he didn't have to do anything else, all of a sudden he was allowed to be all that he can be? That's the kind of shit that everybody's trying to be right now. And you ain't got to get anything from this. I just want to get this off my back and, well, on celluloid. Well, we lost celluloid, so you're stuck with this. I'm Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy, Active Dominant, and some more other upper metaphysical shit. That's just recapping where we at right now in 2014.